Hey guys, what's up? This is Hex, and today I'm going to be talking about a question that was recently posed by a gaming collector YouTuber whose name I can't really remember at the moment because I'm just absolutely terrible with names. But the question is retro collecting pointless now? And this question has been making the rounds as of late through various retro collectors, and I thought I would give my own take on it. Now, I can understand some of the reasoning behind this, as far as like people that are not really into collecting anymore, and this isn't to kind of crap on people that do the emulation, just doing gaming through emulation. That's fine. The way I see it, if you want a game and that's the way you want to do it, then go ahead and do it. And I can understand why people take that route because oftentimes, there's people that have like large families and there's no place for a gaming room whatsoever. It might be an instance of simply you can't afford games because like a lot of the older games are really, really expensive. And like for example, like Earthbound. I mean, I would love to play Earthbound, but chances are I'm going to have to play it on an emulation uh, because the actual card itself is so expensive. I don't want to pay like hundreds of dollars for Earthbound. Uh, that could be money I could put to something else entirely. Um, Now, for me, I prefer the physical, format, and there are some reasons for this. And one is just nostalgia. uh, Holding that actual product in your hand and just kind of remembering the fun you had when you played it, especially when you're fiddling around with, like the older hardware, like let's say the PS1, for example, just having it, hooking it up to a CRTV and, just, loading up the game and playing it. It's just nothing beats that nostalgia. It's just something I don't think that emulation can quite capture. Um, but surprisingly enough, there's a few people that think it's actually that's kind of troublesome to hook up all that stuff, which I never really understood because it's not like it's overly complicated, so I'm not really for sure what they're talking about. But anyhow, and another reason is that back in the day, I really had didn't really have a lot of money, and oftentimes game if I wanted a particular game, I'd have to ask for it for Christmas or birthdays or what have you, and I just didn't really have the cash to get it on my own. And now that I actually am supporting myself, it's a lot easier to get games that I want. Now I can't afford every game, uh, because there's quite a few that are just out of my reach, but I can afford quite a few games, and I actually enjoy that collecting aspect of going out into the wild and hunting a particular game that I've been looking for God knows how long, or maybe stumbling onto something that brand new that I hadn't even heard of. And lastly, um, and this is a thing I've talked about before, is the game preservation side of it. Now you can argue that emulation is essentially preservation, and yeah, it is to a certain extent, I think. But to me, the physical, holding a disc or a card or whatever in your hand, to me is much better in my opinion. Uh, just to be able to show people, yeah, this is the game right here that I'm holding in my hands, instead of having to load up a game on your computer. Go, well, here it is. Uh, I just would rather prefer to show somebody you know a disc or what have you. Plus, if you have something like a museum or whatever, it's easier to display that way. Um, but apart from that, I think that those are just the main reasons. But like I said, I understand people kind of going the emulation route. But for me, as far as the question, is game collecting pointless? I would have to say no. I enjoy it. I enjoy going out in the wild and getting these great games and just enjoying the physical format of it, as well as a lot of other retro collectors, enjoy that as well. And we'll probably continue to do that until it gets to the point where it's going to be all digital, sadly, and it is going that route, fortunately. But what can you do? Yeah, I guess it just has a shelf life. It's just a matter of time before everything changes completely to digital. But that's a different story altogether. But that's all I wanted to talk to you guys for today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I hope to talk to you guys real soon. Take care.